Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to our installment of Scott Selections here for Wednesday, September 15th. Before we get into today's play of the day, quick recap of what happened yesterday. We had a loss with the Blue Jays money line at minus 130 on BetMGM. Line jumped to minus 140, and it didn't matter. Blue Jays were the hottest team in the league. They had the best offense over the last couple of weeks in the league, and then we bet on them, and they scored no runs in 9 innings. Didn't even have a guy reach third base. It was a pathetic offensive showing, and the Blue Jays ended up losing 2-0. I thought Rasmussen would pitch well for Tampa, but I knew he'd only go 5. He did, and the bullpen shut the door. Barrios was good, but unfortunately for him, he got no support. So picked up a loss, look to bounce back here on Wednesday. However, only baseball on the card for Wednesday, and I didn't really like anything. So we're going to be doing some look-ahead lines in the NFL, and I like a two-pick parlay that I'm going to be giving out early in the week because I do think this line's going to move on these two games. So without further ado, let's get the show on the road. The two-pick parlay is going to be on the Broncos money line and the Patriots money line, and that two-pick parlay pays out at plus 102 on Fox Bet. Time recording of 2:20 a.m. Eastern Time. Couple reasons why I like this two-pick parlay. First of all, great price on Fox Bet. Same two-pick is minus 118 on DraftKings. So you're saving 20 cents of value just by shopping your lines. And I'm sure, as all of you know, I'm going to take that to the bank every time. Now, looking at the Broncos, I'm going to break them down game by game. Starting with the Broncos game against the Jaguars. The Broncos, of course, ended up winning last week against the Giants on the road. Won that game 27-13. Was really 27-7, but the Giants scored a rushing touchdown at the buzzer in garbage time. So Denver really held New York to 6 points when it mattered, and I do think Denver's defense looked really sharp in week one. The pass rush with Von Miller looked great. The secondary looked good, and I do think it'll have a lot of chances to make an impact in this game against the Jaguars. Now, the Jaguars, of course, lost 37-21 against the Texans on the road in week one. Jaguars were getting killed by even more than that before garbage time, which is why they gave up 27 points in the first half before Houston started to kind of run clock and call off the dogs a bit in the fourth quarter. But one takeaway was definitely the lack of offensive execution, which is why Trevor Lawrence threw 3 interceptions against Houston's defense. Now, of course, first career start, you're going to have some problems. You're going to have to adjust to the speed of the game. And Lawrence is definitely a guy who's not afraid to take shots for better or for worse. And I do think that Denver should force a couple of takeaways because of it. The offensive line for Jacksonville was, I'd say, meh. But Houston's defensive line also not very good. I think Von Miller should have a couple of sacks here. I think they'll get pressure on him, and I think this Denver secondary is underrated, so I think Lawrence will end up turning the ball over a couple of times, whereas Teddy Bridgewater, we can all agree, is a very solid either game manager or just guy with ball security, but he doesn't really turn the ball over much at all, and Jacksonville's defense, in my opinion, is the worst defense in the entire league. I think Denver should have a lot of quality scoring chances. I think Jacksonville's going to struggle to capitalize on pretty much most drives that they're going to have, and I think at the end of the day, Denver is going to win this game. Will it be close? Maybe. But I think Denver, at the end of the day, is going to do enough to win this game. So that's going to be the first leg. And the second leg is going to be New England on the road against the Jets. Now, the Jets lost a close game to Carolina on the road last week by 5 points. However, that's pretty misleading. The Jets were down double digits for basically the entire game before scoring a touchdown with about 3 minutes to go or so. So they ended up not covering. They didn't really look good. The main issue was protection. They couldn't protect Zach Wilson, who was running for his life the entire game, which is why Carolina had, I believe, 6 sacks in the opener. And that's a bit of a problem because the Patriots defense likes to send pressure. And we know this, but I'm going to reiterate it one more time. Belichick against rookie quarterbacks absolutely demolishes them. And I think Zach Wilson's going to be in for a world of hurt in this matchup. New England lost week 1 as well against Miami at home. However, that was by 1 point. And Miami probably should have lost the game. New England was in field goal range inside of Miami's 20 with about 3 minutes to go, and then they fumbled, and Miami ran up the clock. So New England should arguably be 1-0, but the point is Mac Jones in his first career start looked really comfortable. It seems like New England has a pretty solid offensive, I'd say, game plan in mind. They run the ball a lot. They use the tight ends well. I thought Aguilar looked sharp in his first career game with the Patriots. But the Jets, in addition to the injuries with Curry and with Lawson, who already had no pass rush, they have more injuries to deal with, and I definitely think that they are the leader so far in the clubhouse with injuries because half the team, well, basically died against Carolina. To go through the injuries, I mentioned how bad the pass protection was. Wilson was sacked 6 times. Now the Jets lost their best offensive lineman because Mekhi Becton is out as he got injured in that game. You also have safety LaMarcus Joyner, who is now out for the year. Their starting punter got injured in man, he's out, and linebacker Cashman is out. So If you really needed another angle besides Belichick against a rookie quarterback, the point is New England is a competent team. Miami's good, and New England gave them everything they could handle. They probably should have won the game. New York struggled against Carolina. The game might have been closer than it actually was at the end, but with the injuries to a couple of key positions and just the awful offensive line, I think Wilson is going to struggle a lot against Belichick's game plan. And I think New England will do a pretty good job of methodically moving the ball down the field. And I think New England will win this game too. So, once again, the two-pick parlay for the play that is going to be on the Broncos money line and the Patriots money line, and that pays out at plus 102 on Fox Bet. Bye, everyone.